at the University of Michigan, according to the College Fix. The University of Michigan has at least 241 paid employees now focused on DEI. Payroll costs exceed $30 million annually. $30 million. That would cover in-state tuition and fees for almost 1,800 graduate students. 13 DEI staff members earn more than $200,000. What exactly have they added to the University of Michigan? So far, nothing. And precisely the opposite, because again, DEI ideology, which is rooted in the idea that the only reason certain groups succeed in America and certain groups fail is because of inequity and evil. That ideology has promoted radicalism. You can see that, by the way. There's an amazing clip that's now making the rounds from Google's DEI leader, a person named Adriele Parker, explaining why DEI is good. Because the opposite would be to teach people to be colorblind, which apparently is bad.
To keep telling people that over and over is so frustrating. And I was just on TikTok, and there's a trend where parents are teaching their kids not to see color, quote unquote. And I'm like, okay, so the next round of people that are going to be joining our workforce, this next generation, are going to be dealing with the same issues that we're dealing with now. Because to say you don't see color, you don't see me. You don't care to acknowledge the struggles that people like me face.
Yeah, that's a wild statement. That if you teach your kids to be colorblind, that's somehow terrible because then you're not seeing the struggles other people face. Well, it depends on whether that person's actually... This is the person who is leading DEI at Google. What is the additional struggle this person is experiencing? Did Claudine Gay experience additional struggles or additional benefits thanks to her race? I mean, this is insane. Instead of looking at people as individuals, they look at them as members of groups, and then they suggest that this is how we ought to judge people. This also, by the way, leads to anti-Semitism, because the crossover between DEI and anti-Semitism, it's a Venn diagram circle. Why? Well, because DEI is a conspiracy theory about power. It suggests that the most powerful and the most successful people must have gotten there through exploitation and evil. And then people on the left look and they see the Jews are disproportionately successful in the United States. And they look at Israel versus the Palestinians. And they see that Israel is a disproportionately successful state, a wildly successful state in a deeply unsuccessful part of the world. And they say, well, somebody must have been victimized in order for that to happen. That's the zero-sum view of the world. And Joe Biden can't let it go. He can't let go of that zero-sum view of the world because that's how he feels he's going to win election, which is why yesterday at Emmanuel AME, in the middle of his speech, a bunch of protesters got up and they started chanting about Gaza. Now, this might be a good opportunity for Joe Biden to have what used to be called a sister soldier moment. So very famously, Bill Clinton, when he was running for president in 1992, he made a statement in which he went off on Sister Souljah. Why? Because in the middle of that campaign, she did an interview. Sister Souljah was a hip-hop MC and political activist and all this. And she made a comment in an interview at the Washington Post. She was asked a question, quote, even the people themselves who were perpetrating the violence of the LA riots, did they think that was wise? Was that a wise, reasoned action? And she said, yeah, it was wise. I mean, if black people kill black people every day, why not have a week and kill white people? White people, this government, and that mayor were well aware of the fact that black people were dying every day in LA under gang violence. So if you're a gang member and you would normally be killing somebody, why not kill a white person? Do you think somebody thinks that white people are better, are above and beyond dying when they would kill their own kind? So Clinton, speaking, by the way, at the Rainbow Coalition, Jesse Jackson's organization in 1992 running for president, responded to that quotation and to something that Souljah had said in a music video where she said, quote, if there are any good white people, I haven't met them. And Clinton said, if you took the words white and black and you reversed them, you might think David Duke was giving that speech. Right now, that probably won Bill Clinton, not just the nomination, but the presidency. Right? That was very widely reported at the time. That sort of Sister Souljah moment became a buzzword in American politics of speaking truth to people in your own party who are too radical. But Joe Biden isn't doing that. So Joe Biden has a bunch of protesters who get up and they start chanting in favor of Hamas, right? They say they want a ceasefire in Gaza. They want a ceasefire in Gaza, by the way, as Hamas continues to kill Israeli soldiers and hold females hostage. Worth mentioning here, by the way, that the International Red Cross apparently refuses to spend any time trying to visit the female hostages who are being held in the worst possible conditions. I've been talking about my Helix sleep mattress for literally years. I've had that Helix mattress for, almost a decade, and it is absolutely fantastic. Helix is the gift that keeps on giving. Every night when I climb into bed, I'm reminded of how awesome Helix is. Helix is now introducing their newest, most high-end collection, Helix Elite. Helix Elite harnesses years of extensive mattress expertise to offer a truly elevated sleep experience. The Helix Elite collection includes 6 different mattress models, each tailored for specific sleep positions and firmness preferences. Head on over to helixsleep.com/Ben. Check out the new collection today. If you're nervous about buying a mattress online, well, you don't have to be. Helix has a sleep quiz that matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you, because why would you buy a mattress made for somebody else? I took that Helix quiz. I was matched with a firm but breathable mattress, which is exactly what I need, because otherwise I get the back pain and I tend to heat up at night. Go to helixsleep.com/Ben, take their 2-minute sleep quiz, find the perfect mattress for your body and sleep type. Your mattress will come directly to your door, shipped for free. Plus, Helix has a 10-year warranty. You get to try it for 100 nights risk-free. They'll pick it up for you if you don't love it, but you're going to love it. Their financing options and flexible payment plans make it so a great night's sleep is never far away. Helix is offering 25% off all mattress orders plus 2 free pillows for our listeners. Start the year off right. Upgrade your sleep at helixsleep.com/Ben. It's their best offer yet. It's not going to last long. That's helixsleep.com/Ben. With Helix, better sleep starts right now. Does Joe Biden say to these radicals, guys, you know what you're talking about? Hamas is an evil group that must be extirpated? Does he say that? Does he say your belief that Hamas is some sort of part of the broader racial matrix into which you have cast America is just false, that it's a lie, that your bizarre idea that Palestinians are brown and Israelis are white, that's stupid, and that's not how you should think about morality? Does Joe Biden say that? No, he concedes to them because he has to concede to his radical left-wing base because he thinks that radical left-wing base is going to need to turn out in vast numbers to win him re-election. By the way, this is how you lose the middle in this country. It turns out 62% of Americans want America to give more support to Israel in its current war against Hamas. But here is Joe Biden being absolutely castrated by a bunch of radical protesters at this church.
Without the truth, there's no light. Without light, there's no path from this darkness.
If you really care about the lives lost here, then you should honor the lives lost and call for a ceasefire in Palestine. Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. I understand their passion, and I've been quietly working with the Israeli government to get them to reduce and significantly get out of Gaza. I'm using all that I can to do that.
Now, these are a bunch of nuts inside the church. Okay, there's a bunch of left-wing radical kooks. He could have just ignored them and said nothing. Instead, he says, I understand your passion. By the way, this is how the Democratic Party sees its most radical constituents. They're just too passionate. That's really the problem. Riots in Ferguson, they're too passionate. I mean, yeah, we don't want them burning things, maybe, but they have a point. I mean, we can see why they're mad. And it's the same thing when you have people yelling at you about protecting Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Is Biden willing to say anything? Of course not, because the entire Democratic Party infrastructure is unwilling to say or do anything, which is why you're seeing protesters clogging up traffic lanes in New York City. Yesterday, protesters clogged up basically every major traffic artery in New York City. Some 300 were arrested and then promptly released because that's how it works in New York City. Here's some video.
You're disrupting traffic, idiots.
This is it, by the way, is a black father telling people to move. But you know, you can't. You got to let the wokes win. You got to leave them alone. He needs to leave. This is illegal. Where are the cops? The guy who's trying to push people out of the way so he can go where he wants to go is not wrong. He is correct. The way that law works in the United States is if it is not enforced, other people will take it into their own hands who try to enforce it. Look at this. They shut down entire freeways. It's absurd. They shut down the Holland Tunnel. They shut down the Brooklyn Bridge in favor of Hamas. Where are the cops? Where are the cops? Throw these people in jail and all of this stops tomorrow. They don't want to spend any time in jail because they're weaklings. They're perfectly happy to do this because they know there are no consequences. The difference between civil rights protesters and these jackasses, civil rights protesters, number one, were protesting for something good, and number two, were willing to go to jail for that belief. These people are protesting for something evil and are not willing to go to jail for that belief. You know what the easy solution is? Arrest them and put them in jail. It is not particularly difficult, but Democrats won't do that because they believe that these people are part of their base. It's totally crazy. Are you tired of the lies and the twists of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.